Morning sunlight on Desmond Hall, bringing a promise of warmth and love. For last night, romance reigned. And under chandeliers, beauty held sway. But love does not conquer all. For this day, one will learn that hatred has its own powers, and the candles of evil can glow brighter than the light of hope.
Miss Raleigh.
Oh, Laszlo. Good morning.
Where have you been?
Is something wrong?
An actress up at the break of dawn. I thought women in your profession slept till noon.
I have a new profession. Gathering flowers at daybreak.
Very admirable.
Not at all. It's no sacrifice on my part. You see, dawn is invigorating when a woman is loved.
How fortunate you are to be loved by an audience of thousands.
You flatter me, Laszlo.
Not at all. I'm sure your fans miss you. You owe a duty to them, and I think you should return to the stage as soon as possible.
You want me to leave Desmond Hall?
Oh, perish the thought. You have been a shining beacon here to us.
I hope so. Because Jean-Paul Desmond loves me. Excuse me. I didn't want to disturb your work.
No, you're not disturbing me. Not at all, Miss Raleigh. I was just going over the Desmond accounts. Something that would be very interesting to you.
Oh?
Yes, I imagine you'd want a full accounting of all the Desmond interests.
I'm not interested.
That's why you're at Desmond Hall.
That's not true.
Oh, I think it is. I think that's what explains the infatuation you have for my cousin, Jean-Paul.
I would hardly call it infatuation. I love him. How do you account for that in your books?
On a strictly commercial basis, as you do.
Yes. Perhaps when I first came here, this is a comfortable life, and I wanted comfort.
It was obvious.
But now I love him. And the rest doesn't matter. Money, family objections.
I haven't stated any objections. I merely want honesty between us. You tell me your dreams, Miss Raleigh, and I'll tell you mine.
Do you like cats? He is my friend.
Yes. Does he kill things?
Why, no. No. He is the most harmless of creatures. Far more harmless than you or I. Aren't you, my friend? And secretive, too. Never says a word, never tells a secret. Irene, am I doing everything that you expect of me? Everything. Of course, it does take time. Are you afraid of me? Afraid? No. Why should I be afraid of you? I might fail you and use my own powers. To what end? After all, we both want the same thing. The destruction of Jean-Paul Desmond and Helena. And Helena, if you wish. But we must walk before we learn to run. One step at a time, my dear Emily. One step at a time.
No, that's not true. Nothing you say is true.
Oh, of course. You're the innocent, the beautiful woman without a touch of greed.
Not when Jean-Paul is concerned.
What do you know about Erica Desmond?
Only what I've heard.
You lie. You knew you resembled Jean-Paul's dead wife before you came here.
Not until he told me.
You are, in fact, part of a plot against the Desmond family.
No!
Who sent you, Miss Raleigh?
No one.
Look at me. I said look at me! Did the ghost of Erica Desmond send you?
I don't want to hear any more.
Or are you Erica Desmond?
We call upon all who have died in your service. All those who have gone to you in everlasting bondage. We call upon those who have worshipped you by the full moon. Those who have danced in orgy before your image. We ask you to accept the offering of a new servant, one who has not yet joined the circle of fire. The offering. The blood offering. I can't. You must. The blade. The blade must be drawn across the palm. The blood must be collected in the chalice. Well done. Well done.
There, Miss Raleigh. I had no desire to make you cry.
I am not crying.
Really? Oh, I see. Another sparkling performance from our resident actress. Really, dear woman, theatrics may move Jean-Paul, but they do not move me.
You are a cruel and vicious man, and I won't let you frighten me. Why do you want to? Why do you want to hurt me? I've never done anything to you.
I'm not so sure of that.
You have to hurt people, don't you? Why? When I woke up this morning, I was completely happy for the first time in my life. Because somebody loved me, and I loved him. But you couldn't let that happen, could you? No. People at Desmond Hall know about evil and doom. It's supernatural. But the unhappiness you've caused me this morning, that is evil. Hurting people without any other reason except to see them suffer, that is real evil. That is what evil is, Mr. Thaxton. But I won't let you do that to me. I'm going to do as I planned. I intend to bring some love and peace into Desmond Hall, and you won't stop me. And no one will.
Is that from a play, Miss Raleigh?
No. It is a vow I composed myself. And I intend beginning to apologize to people that I might have hurt unintentionally. Beginning, Mr. Thaxton, with Emily Blair.
Emily is spending the day with Mrs. Hatter.
I know where Emily is.
Then don't intrude.
I intend to apologize. I do not call that an intrusion.
Leave the girl alone. I warn you, leave her alone, or you will live to regret it.
I feel a warning. We are to have a visitor. A visitor whose hopes are doomed. Who is about to be possessed.
Is Mr. Desmond awake yet? Oh, good. Let him rest. Well, Keto, I'm going to the village, that's all. There's no need to guard me. I'm going to Mrs. Hatter's to see Miss Blair. You mustn't be frightened. What is it, Quito? There's nothing to be frightened about. It's a lovely morning for a walk, and I know my way. You take care of Mr. Desmond, will you?
The lady has a mind of her own, Quito. And she is responsible for what happens to her. Oh, Mrs. Hatter and I didn't mean to threaten you. You mustn't fear her. And nothing will happen to Miss Raleigh so long as she does not pry.
Hello? How are you, Mr. Thaxton? How nice of you to call me. Oh, she is. I had a warning.
I have a suggestion. Keep Emily hidden while Helena is there.
How can I explain it?
She's ill. She's very ill. Now do as I say.
Yes. Yes, I'll do what you say. Although Emily is really quite presentable. Whatever you say. Thank you for calling. Yes. Goodbye. The boy from the bakery. He's been delayed in his deliveries. I'm afraid we may have no fresh bread for tea. Doesn't matter. Come, come. Why so dispirited? Perhaps you're not feeling too well. You shall have some tea, and you will take it to your room. Drink it and lie down. Here. Just as you like it.
But I thought you said we were having a visitor.
Oh, just a premonition, my dear, that's all. Come along. You must sleep. You've been studying very hard.
But it will be worth it. In the end, it will be worth it.
Well, Miss Raleigh, I'm waiting for you. 1, 2, 3. Lifting the latch at the gate. 4, 5, 6, 7. Walking up the path to the door. 8, 9. Miss Raleigh, I am waiting for you. Very prompt. Oh, Miss Raleigh, how nice of you to call on me.
I came to see Emily, if I may.
Oh, well, I'm afraid she's resting in bed.
Oh, may I see her?
I don't think that would be wise. Would you like some tea?
I think not. Is Emily ill?
She is, not herself. But then, of course, you know that's why she came to visit me here. To rest, to forget Desmond Hall.
Has she spoken of me?
Often. Miss Raleigh, quite often. With great affection.
Well, that's odd. I treated her rather badly.
Oh, I couldn't believe that of you, Miss Raleigh. I could.
Emily. Emily, I want to talk to you.
Emily, I really think that you should be in bed.
And I want to talk to you, Miss Raleigh. And don't say that I'm not well. I feel quite well. And strong. Strong enough to destroy you if I choose.
Emily, you really mustn't talk like that.
Emily, I'm sorry. That's what I came here to tell you. I didn't mean to be cruel to you.
You brushed me aside. You ridiculed me in front of Jean-Paul.
But I didn't intend to. And as for Jean-Paul, he and I...
I'm not concerned with Jean-Paul, not anymore.
Emily, enough chattering.
The window, look! It's one of their spies!
Quito, poor thing. Is he lost again?
For some reason, he feels he has to guard me.
He can't protect you from what will happen.
What will happen? I don't understand you.
Emily, I insist that you go upstairs. This is no way to behave before a guest. Now, come along now.
Keep your hands off me. I still have my own powers.
You see?
Emily, please do what Mrs. Hatter asks you to do. Well, I'll come back another time.
Time? You don't have much time left. Irene thinks that I say too much, but I think you deserve to know. If I were you, I wouldn't waste my time in apologies. Instead, I'd be preparing to die.
She's mad. She's completely insane.
Drink this, Miss Rowley. It will relax you. Emily will get better. She will be better now. She fell into a sound sleep the moment I left her in her room.
Why? Can you tell me why she hates me? I was rude, perhaps a little mischievous, but I never really harmed her.
She doesn't hate you, my dear. You realize that Emily's been through great emotional suffering. The story about a snake god, whatever that may be, and her strange behavior. I'm doing my best to bring her back to normality.
Poor Jean-Paul. He feels a blame for this.
Blame, my dear. Nonsense. Emily will recover, believe me. When she finally leaves this cottage, she will be as I am now. That is her future. You have a very interesting future, too, Miss Rowley. Shall we look into it?
Miss Rowley, is that you? Quito, your master is asleep. Do not wake him. Quito, you heard what I said. What's the matter? Miss Rowley, all right? Is she still at Mrs. Hatter's cottage? Oh, well, then there's no need to wake Jean-Paul. What could happen to Miss Rowley in that quaint little cottage?
The atmosphere must be suitable. You will find it interesting, I assure you. One doesn't have to believe in the crystal, but I find it amusing and sometimes informative. First, a brief blessing and a petition to the magnifying and refracting powers of the crystal, through which we can view life with more perception than with our own eyes. Now, crystal, show me what lies in the future of Helena Raleigh. Desmond Hall. Dark and almost deserted. I see it. And a wreath of mourning on the door.
Jean-Paul, is he all right?
Jean-Paul is in mourning, for one of his most devoted friends is lost forever. And more, a woman he loves is dead. She has taken her own life.
Oh, that's horrible. I don't want to hear any more.
This is a game, Miss Rowley.
Where am I in your crystal ball?
You are not here. You are no longer at Desmond Hall.
I do not like your fortunes, Mrs. Hatter.
I also saw that before you are no longer with us, you are possessed, Miss Raleigh. You become an instrument of evil. Clouds, Miss Raleigh. Dark, stifling clouds cover your love.
I don't want to hear any more.
Nonsense, of course, but fun, don't you think? Ah, Mr. Thaxton.
Women's games, I see. The darkened room, the crystal ball. Hello, Miss Rowley.
I do not understand why women involve themselves in these dramatics. It only frightens them.
I am not frightened.
I'm afraid the crystal had some rather unhappy things to say to Miss Raleigh.
Laszlo, will you drive me home?
Oh, yes, of course. Irene is very provincial. She takes pleasure in frightening her visitors.
I'm sorry, Miss Raleigh, if I've disturbed you.
No, it was my fault for listening to you. Please, give Emily my regards.
Yes, do. And see that she makes progress, day by day.
Yes. Yes, of course.
I'm sure you will. Come along.
Goodbye. Do drop in again. I knew it. Your visions were true. I have felt it in my heart. Death and despair at Desmond Hall.
Which is just what I've planned.
Emily, your plans have no chance of being executed if you continue to talk the way you do. Threatening Miss Raleigh. That is not the way a witch behaves. So obviously, a witch is gentle, careful and conscientious, quiet and seemingly kind. Try to remember that.
I couldn't help it with that woman. She took Jean-Paul Desmond from me, and I want her to suffer.
She will suffer.
I want to see her suffer.
You will, believe me. For Helena Raleigh, who feels that she finally has become a loving and honest woman, will soon find herself behaving in a way more wicked than she ever thought she could.
She is evil.
If you believe that now, I advise you to wait. For she will be possessed. And soon. Soon.
It can't be soon enough. What must we do to achieve this? Tell me what I must do.
Nothing, my dear. Nothing. This possession will not be of our making.
But whose? Who will possess her?
A spirit from hell. Erica Desmond.